Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So it's no surprise that rents are getting out of control. It's just very expensive right now. In fact, in Manhattan, the average rent is now $5,588 a month, which means you gotta make more than $18,000 a month, or almost $200,000 a year, in order for that rent to be affordable. Thankfully though, there is a solution in what's called a tiny home, where basically, if you're okay in living in a parking spot, you can live in a house. And that is exactly what we're going to showcase here, because this story is absolutely incredible. As soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, because that helps out tremendously. So thanks so much, and now let's begin.
Living in a tiny home has really helped me be more present. There's no room for excess or unnecessary objects.
I thought you were about to say no room for activities. Reminds me of Step Brothers, where they're like, so much room for activities, they just want to build a bunk bed. She can't build a bunk bed here. That's the downside of this.
My name is Sung Yu. I'm 40 years old and I live in a tiny house in Santa Monica, California.
It's kind of odd when you zoom in to this thing. It just looks like a square. Like no windows whatsoever on this place. There's got to be a window though. I think for it to be habitable, to be permitted by the city of Santa Monica, there's got to be a window on this somewhere. But it just doesn't fit with the aesthetic of anything else around it. It honestly looks like they just put one of those pods outside of the house. You know the storage lockers? They plop them in front of the house. You could load stuff into it. Looks like they just transformed that into a living quarters.
I pay $1,600 per month. Welcome to my tiny house in Santa Monica, California.
So just so you know, like in Santa Monica's expensive, okay? For like a one bedroom like this, you'd probably be looking at, in today's prices, $2,100 a month. For something like this, of this size, which looks to me like 200 square feet, it's very expensive because you're really close to the beach.
I'm a designer and entrepreneur, and I have a children's toy brand called Big Little Universe.
Wow, 170 grand a year. So see, she could be affording the $5,000 a month rent payments in Manhattan, but she's saving a ton of money by doing this. More people should do this. I think micro units should be more permittable. You know, that's the thing. It's like, in a lot of cities, they don't like what's called high density housing, which is basically, you have like stacks of, bedrooms basically for people to live in. I think that would make it way more affordable. For people that don't want to spend $2,000 a month, imagine you just get a bed, a small little cooking area, place for a TV and a couch. You get that for $1,000 a month, and you save a ton of money. The developer gets more money per square foot, but the tenant saves money overall because they're not wasting any space with unusable square footage.
Before living in the tiny house, I lived in New York City for over 18 years. I was paying $4,500 a month for an apartment.
Oh yeah, see exactly what I say. $4,500, she could afford it, she's making enough money. But the thing is, if you want to save, and she's probably living in a way nicer location. I mean, personally, I'm more a fan of the beach than I would be of Manhattan.
I had two places, one in New York and one in California. It was pretty quickly where I decided it was time to get grounded again with my own values. So I made the tiny house my primary residence.
Interesting, I don't think there's any windows on this. I think it's the sliding door that you enter from, and that's it. Because otherwise you have the bathroom, bedroom, I don't see anything in there. I think it's just the slider on the one side.
I hadn't seen anything like it. The photos were posted. It was also very hard to decipher. I asked for a video interview to be able to see the space. But even then, I was like, it could not be there. This could all be AI for all I know.
Yeah, you know what, there's a big scam. These scams have been going on for a long time. So basically what they do is they take homes that are listed for sale and they'll put them up for rent. And then they say, oh, I'm just looking for a good family. They put it at a really low price. They say, oh, I'm in the military and I'm not going to be there and I'm just trying to rent it out as soon as possible to be a good citizen. And so basically just send me a deposit and then we'll reserve it for you. So you wire a deposit to this unknown account. They steal the money. You show up and basically the listing doesn't exist. You rent it from somebody who is a scammer. So very common. That's why you always got to verify the unit's actually listed for rent, the owner is actually the owner. You got to do some research on your end to make sure it's not a scam.
Living in a tiny house has not only provided my own space, but I'm easily saving a few $1,000s a month, which has been extremely beneficial as well.
It's fantastic. $1,600 for utilities, parking, and Wi-Fi. It's fantastic for Santa Monica. Now, granted, the space looks really small, but if you're out all day working or just outside, Santa Monica, you could be out year-round. It's always going to be 70 and sunny.
The house does not require any heat or AC. So I don't have any heating or cooling, but the temperature is regulated by concrete panels, which is water resistant, weatherproof, and extremely durable.
Wow, that's interesting. You would think more places would be designed like this. I'd imagine it's just a cost thing. It's probably just expensive.
Going through different objects or tools was also pretty simple because you come to realize you really don't need that many things. I think patience is going to be one thing that could be tested living in a tiny house.
I mean, honestly, I think for a single person who's out, and working and doing stuff and enjoying the outdoors, this is perfect. All you need is just a place to relax and sleep. You don't need much more than that.
When you walk in, this is the main area, which is my work area as well as living room. You see my open closet. I guess you could also say it's a walk-in closet.
Oh yeah, look, there's no closet. So she's just got to display really what she's gonna have. You gotta be really intentional then, and preferably with a storage locker nearby so that you can swap out stuff. But you gotta be really careful about what you pick.
I cook pretty much every day. This particular tiny house did not have a full kitchen. How I've solved for that is with a double burner that sits outside of the home. It functions extremely well and is completely sufficient to be able to cook.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. I don't even see a microwave in here, so it seems like she's really authentically cooking her food.
In terms of guests, maximum, I've had 2 people stay in the outdoor space, but indoors I've only had 1 guest at a time. To the right of the kitchen is my bathroom. The bathroom sink face is one of my favorite features in the house. It's made of a recycled rubber.
That's cool. This whole place seems perfect for a landlord who doesn't want their tenant to throw parties. Because only a few people could be there at a time. So it can't get out of control. You're not going to get any damage in this place.
Observe and take a look at your belongings and what really has meaning in your life and what is just a nice to have. I would start there and start to evaluate how you could potentially transition into a tiny house.
I was in 700 square feet for a few years. Plenty of space. There was space in there I never even used. Never used the living room, and the dining room was just for editing. That was it. So really, all you need is a bedroom, a bit of a kitchen, and maybe a place to lay down, which could also be the bedroom. I think a lot of people could do this and save a ton of money.
I really, really love the experience of living in this space and the benefits of learning intentional living. I would love to share that by building a community in the future, but for now, I'm not leaving.
I would love to see more like that. Instead of little cramped, dirty apartment buildings, go and do something outdoors with little pods. 200 square foot pods just lined up with their own private gardens. Make them secluded, make it private. I would love to see stuff like that. Again, developers can charge a higher amount per square foot. They make more money, tenants save more money. It's just a zoning issue. They don't want such condensed housing. I'm sure there's issues with that. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And also don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and that you could get free stocks worth all the way up to a few $1,000s when you make a deposit with the paid affiliate link down below in the description. Enjoy. Let me know what stocks you get. It'll take you 10 minutes to sign up. It's worth it. Let me know. Thank you so much, and until next time.